Hi, everybody. Tonight's a very special call with a very special lady, Dr. Judy Leets, who is a naturopathic doctor. And Dr. Judy has been studying natural health and nutrition for most of her adult life, and she's been on a quest to find answers about why and what can be done to prevent illness. She has worked in the medical industry for a large facility in Michigan as an administrator. And from there, in 1998, she purchased an herb shop and took many, many classes to become an herb specialist. But that wasn't enough for Dr. Judy. And in 2003, she decided to take her experience to a whole new level and received her degree in the Doctor of Naturopathy and worked on and off with several medical doctors in the area. Now she has an integrated practice with 2 holistic medical physicians counseling their patients with not just lifestyle illnesses such as diabetes and heart disease, but also teaches classes on natural health. She even hosts a weekly radio show appropriately called Natural Health with Dr. Judy Leets. And it's interesting that she really believes from her core that by adding quality, the word is quality supplements, to our daily lives can change our status health-wise. And the key word, of course, is quality. And this is why she has chosen Zango specifically for its products to study and recommend, not just to her clients, but her family and her friends. And tonight, I'm going to turn it over now to Dr. Judy Leets. Over to you, Judy.
Oh, thank you, Sandy. What a wonderful, wonderful introduction. I want to say hello to everybody, and I hope that tonight I can answer some of your questions, because truly the answer is Zango 365. It's Wellness Extended. We say Wellness Extended because that's exactly what 365 delivers. 365 helps you both be well and stay well longer. Who uses a multivitamin supplement? Why do you use it? Of course, we buy vitamins and other basic multiple supplements in an effort to stay healthy. We will discuss details later if we have the time. Now, your typical vitamins and mineral supplements, they only help you maintain your health. They do little to prevent occasional or seasonal downturns. High-priced premium supplements claims many, many benefits. However, they may not be utilized by your body properly due to high doses of nutrients that can't be absorbed or metabolized. Other solutions, such as immune-enhancing supplements or antibiotic treatments, are designed to address existing conditions, and they can cause different problems and unwanted side effects without fixing the real problem. Now, Zango 365 is an all-natural blend of vitamins, minerals, and other natural extracts. 365's proprietary Active Defense Complex helps your body actively shield itself from harmful microorganisms, environmental impurities, and oxidative stress. It literally helps you stay well. That's why we say Zango 365 delivers Wellness Extended. Zango 365 comes in a 1-per-day packet containing 6 little pieces, 2 vitamin tablets, 2 mineral tablets, and 2 capsules containing our Active Defense Complex. Zango 365 uses the most advanced manufacturing. The tablets are precisely engineered to dissolve at the right place in your gut to ensure maximum maximum absorption. And the capsules are vegetable-based, so that 365 can be used by everyone. Let's take a quick look at each part of 365 individually. And I want to start with our proprietary Active Defense Complex. I really, truly love our Active Defense Complex. It consists of bioflavonoids, resveratrol, tocotrienols, and other unique prime active. Together, these ingredients combine to fortify and prime your immune system. You notice I didn't say strengthen or jumpstart. I said prime. This helps you stay well more of the time. Active Defense Complex works like nothing you've ever seen before. We've all seen immune products. They help your body go to war by stimulating your immune system and calling out your body's armies to battle so they can kill the bad guys. Unfortunately, this approach ends up killing some good guys too, and you just don't feel very good. How many times has that happened to you? Active Defense Complex is entirely different. Active Defense Complex is peacetime formula that puts your body on high alert against invaders, but doesn't call your armies out to battle. Then when your body detects an outside invader, it can defend itself almost immediately without the delay your immune system typically needs to build itself up, and without the damage that can be caused if your body's defense army is needlessly running around your body killing others. Now, you can take 365 every day and you feel better longer. First, let's look at the ingredients that go into the Active Defense Complex. Your prime active is made of polysaccharides. Then you have citrus bioflavonoids, you have tocotrienols or tocopherols, and resveratrol. First, we're going to talk about the prime active, and that's called beta-glucan. Please pay very close attention to this, because this really is something that got me so excited when I found out they had beta-glucan in our new 365. It's a fiber-type polysaccharide, that's a sugar compound, that comes from the cellular wall of yeast, oat, and barley fiber, and many edible mushrooms such as maitake. Now, beta-glucan is primarily used to enhance the immune system and to lower cholesterol levels. Research indicates that beta-glucan is very effective at activating white blood cells known as macrophages and neutrophils, most of which provide the immune system's first lines of defense against foreign materials such as bacteria, virus, and fungus in the body. Remember, I told you it primes the immune system. A beta-glucan activated macrophage or neutrophil can recognize and kill tumor cells. It can remove cellular debris resulting from oxidative damage, speed up recovery of damaged tissue, known as free radical damage. Does that sound familiar to any of you? And further activate other components of the immune system. Beta-glucan is a key component of the cholesterol-lowering effect of oat bran. As with other soluble fiber components, the binding of cholesterol by beta-glucan and the resulting elimination of these molecules in the feces is very, very helpful for reducing blood cholesterol. Now, by postponing initial digestion, beta-glucan may be helpful in reducing the elevation of post-meal blood sugar levels and may quite possibly be able to increase tissue sensitivity to insulin. These effects indicate possible benefit in blood sugar control in people with diabetes. I think that's very important, and that's another thing that got me very excited, because part of diabetes is your body's inability to deal with insulin, to use it correctly. So this can help it. And I get very excited when I learn about things that can help people that do have the diabetic syndrome. Manufacturers of beta-glucan products recommend between 50 to 100 milligrams daily, and it suggests that you take it on an empty stomach, although some products contain as much as 500 milligrams per capsule. 365 contains 525 milligrams of the total active defense complex. Now next, let's look at citrus bioflavonoids. Now many of you probably have heard that term many times before because that's what we get from our citrus fruits, but mostly is found in the rind. And bioflavonoids are a group of plant pigments that are responsible for the colors of many flowers in your fruits. That's why you see it in the rind. Citrus bioflavonoids are those bioflavonoids or flavonoids found in citrus fruits such as lemon, orange, tangerine, grapefruit, etc. And these substances possess antioxidant activities, which help fight poor health and aging. Citrus bioflavonoids have been investigated for their biological activity with both anti-inflammatory and carcinogenic effects being reported. Flavonoids are a subset of a larger group of beneficial plant substances known as polyphenols. Now, I'm sure we've heard those terms several times also. Different bioflavonoids tend to have different health effects on the body. Here are some of the common bioflavonoids, and their benefits are outlined below. So watch this slide because it's going to tell you many of the bioflavonoids. Now, quercetin, that's one of my favorites. The primary use is for the relief of allergies and inflammation. In scientific experiments, it was found to be an effective inhibitor of histamine released from mast cells, the cause of allergic reactions. Recently, I have seen research and studies that it also helps to work on the brain to eliminate or to slow down memory loss as we age. Pycnogenol has a cardiovascular benefit. It boosts the immune system, helps improve the appearance of the skin, helps varicose veins, provides relief from arthritic pain, and helps reduce inflammation. Grapeseed extract has beneficial effects on the cardiovascular system, and some of these include improvements to cardiovascular health, protective antioxidant effects, improved eye health, and anti-inflammatory action. Green tea extract plays a beneficial role in protecting against certain infections, including cardiovascular health, promoting better dental hygiene, and offering protection from the development of some types of cancer. Bioflavonoids are very important to us. The most recent scientific breakthroughs confirm that these powerful nutrients are an important part of a healthy diet. Studies from around the world support the fact that diets high in bioflavonoids are associated with lower incidences of most diseases. Along with other phytonutrients, the health benefits of bioflavonoids are one reason why the National Institute of Health and the U.S. Surgeon General's Office advocate the intake of several servings, and I tell people 10, of fruits and vegetables every day. The reason I say 10 is because if I tell you you need to eat 10 fruits and vegetables, you might truly eat 5, but that's a whole lot better than you used to do. Powerful health-promoting nutrients from nature, the virtues of plants, will never cease to amaze us. We can't live without plants. They can't live without us. We're here synergistically. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, and you notice I've got all this stuff on the slide so that when you download this, if you save it, you've got all this information in front of you. Tocotrienols. Now, tocopherols, or TCP, are a class of chemical compounds of which many have vitamin E activity. It's a series of organic compounds consisting of various methylated phenols. Alpha-tocopherol is the main source found in supplements and in the European diet, where the main dietary sources are olive and sunflower oils, while gamma-tocopherol is the most common form in the American diet due to a higher intake of soybean and corn oil. Tocotrienols, which are related compounds, also have vitamin E activity. All of these various derivatives with vitamin activity may correctly be referred to as vitamin E. Tocopherols and tocotrienols are fat-soluble antioxidants, but also seem to have many other functions in the body. Vitamin E exists in 8 different forms, 4 tocopherols and 4 tocotrienols. All feature a chromonal ring with a hydroxyl group that can donate a hydrogen atom to reduce free radicals. I know that's a little bit complicated, but it's very important. And a hypertrophic side chain which allows for penetration into biological membranes. In other words, the vitamin E with all 8 different forms can get into the cells, where if you only have 1 or 2 of the forms, it may not be able to penetrate. Both the tocopherols and tocotrienols occur in alpha, beta, gamma, and delta forms, determined by the number and position of methyl groups on the chromonal ring. All 8 forms are found in Zango 365. I think that's absolutely phenomenal. There aren't very many of your supplements, your vitamin E supplements, that have all 8 forms of your tocopherols and your tocotrienols. Here's another one, resveratrol. Now last year, or maybe it was 2 years ago, when resveratrol first made the major media hype, it talked about anti-aging. Take resveratrol, it'll reduce your aging or reverse it. Well, nothing's going to turn time backwards. But resveratrol is a polyphenol and a phytoalexin produced naturally by several plants when under attack by pathogens such as bacteria and fungi. Now, I don't know how much you know about the mangosteen rind, but that's exactly what happens. If something penetrates that rind so that nothing can get inside, there is it's kind of, well, it's like the oil, oil that we get in our products. It forms around that rind to keep bacteria and fungi from getting inside the mangosteen. That's how resveratrol works. It's currently a topic of numerous animal and human studies in its effects. The effects of resveratrol on the lifespan of many model organisms remain controversial. In mouse and rat experiments, anti-cancer, anti-inflammatory, blood sugar lowering, and other beneficial cardiovascular effects of resveratrol have been reported. I think that's wonderful. What is resveratrol? It's a powerful antioxidant. It's produced by some plants to protect against environmental stresses. It's more commonly known, however, as the active ingredient in red wine that protects against heart disease. Resveratrol very likely has more health benefits than protecting against heart disease, however. According to Australian researcher Lindsay Brown, the author of upcoming resveratrol study, the breadth of benefits of resveratrol is remarkable. Cancer prevention, protection of the heart and brain from damage, reducing age-related diseases such as inflammation, reversing diabetes and obesity, and many, many more. Vitamins. Okay, we've been talking about our active defense complex. Now let's talk about the vitamins. You have vitamin A and beta-carotene, vitamin C and citrus bioflavonoids, vitamin D, a very special kind of vitamin D, which we'll talk about in a minute, vitamin E and all the tocotrienols, vitamin K, and your B vitamins, thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, vitamin B6, folate, vitamin B12, biotin, pantothenic acid, are all in our 365. Very, very important that we understand what's going on with our vitamin content, because it's so much better than what you're going to buy in a let's say, in a Rite Aid or in a drugstore that's something commercial, because those are not natural. They're made in a laboratory. Here is the supplement facts from the box of 365. It provides a balanced blend of essential vitamins from sources selected for optimal absorption. Vitamin A with the beta-carotene, vitamin C with the citrus flavonoids, and vitamin E with the tocotrienols. Very, very important. Based on the latest research and science, Zango 365 provides you with the optimal amounts and sources of vitamins to improve your health. You don't need great big huge amounts of vitamins. You need good quality kinds of vitamins. Let's look at a couple of examples. Vitamin E and tocotrienols, which is, of course, a form of vitamin E we were just talking about. Recent research shows that tocotrienols provide benefits, which with the tocopherols, the most common form of vitamin E, do not provide all by itself, as explained previously. Vitamin D is the only vitamin which is hormone. It's a hormone. It's not a vitamin, and which controls many essential bodily functions, and it's important that we have enough of it in our bodies at all times. Recent research concludes that we are all taking far less vitamin D than we need. Other supplements may contain less than 25% of that amount. Zango 365 contains a significantly higher amount of 2,000 international units that clinical research has shown to be effective in increasing vitamin D levels in those of us who are deficient. And if you kind of live in the northern countries like I do, in the wintertime, you don't get the vitamin D that you need. And in the summertime, we really don't want to be out there and get sunburned, so we may not be getting all that we need there either. Some of your studies have found that there are many benefits to certain vitamins and supplements. We've talked about the E's, and we're going to talk about the D's, because I think it's important that we understand why these things are so important to us. It's not possible to get all the nutrition your immune system needs from food. The American Medical Association, and I've seen it in their publication, stated that everyone should take a multivitamin in order to guard against nutritional deficiencies. Our soil has become so depleted of nutrients that our food does not supply us with nearly as much nutrition as it did 50 to 100 years ago. This is vital because major deficiencies of even one vitamin and mineral can lead to disease. Also, according to the British Journal of Nutrition, adequate intakes of micronutrients are required for the immune system to function efficiently. Micronutrient deficiencies can suppress immunity. That's so very, very important. Now we're going to talk about vitamin D, cholecalciferol. It's vitamin D3, and that's the kind of vitamin D that you need in your system. Caucasian skin produces approximately 10,000 IUs of vitamin D in response to 20 to 30 minutes of summer sun exposure, 50 times more than the U.S. government's recommendation of 200 IU per day. This high rate of natural production of vitamin D3 in the skin is the single most important fact every person should know about vitamin D, a fact that has profound implications for the natural human condition. Now, technically, vitamin D is not a vitamin. It's in a class all by itself. Its metabolic product, calcitriol, is actually a secosteroid hormone that is the key that unlocks binding sites on the human genome. The human genome contains more than 2,700 binding sites for calcitriol. Those binding sites are near genes involved in virtually every known major disease of humans. Current research has implicated vitamin D deficiency as a major factor in the pathology of at least 17 varieties of cancer, as well as heart disease, stroke, hypertension, autoimmune disease, osteoporosis, osteoarthritis, depression, diabetes, chronic pain, muscle weakness, muscle wasting, birth defects, periodontal disease, and much, much more. Vitamin D's influence on key biological functions is vital to one's health and well-being, mandates that vitamin D no longer be ignored by the healthcare industry, nor by individuals striving to achieve and maintain a greater state of health. Sandy told you when she introduced me that I work with 2 MDs. They're what are called holistic medical doctors. They test everyone for vitamin D deficiency, regardless of what their complaint is, because they will find that if they are deficient in vitamin D, and almost everyone in Michigan is to some degree, they can take, and by increasing their vitamin D that they're taking, and they try to do it naturally, that they can take these symptoms that these people are feeling and put them down low so they can figure out what really is the problem, not just a vitamin D deficiency. If well adults and adolescents regularly avoid the sunlight exposure, research indicates a necessity to supplement with at least 2,000 units IUs of vitamin D daily. To obtain this amount from milk, one would need to consume 20 glasses. With a multivitamin, more than 10 tablets would be necessary, unless you take 365. What about minerals? Well, you know, minerals is kind of a different subject. We don't think about it very often. Calcium, iodine, magnesium, zinc, those are ones we hear about all the time. But selenium, copper, manganese, chromium, molybdenum, vanadium, these are minerals that we don't hear about quite as much. They're often neglected part of our nutritional supplements. Often they are formulated from cheap sources that makes them difficult for the body to absorb. Zango 365 utilizes chelation technology to enhance the absorption of the minerals and increase their bioavailability. 365's minerals are bound to an amino acid that your body readily absorbs. So you get all the right minerals in the right amounts delivered in a way your body can actually use it. What are some of the benefits of so-called trace minerals? Many physicians are persuaded that the majority of all diseases are probably enzymatic in origin. Since metabolism is synonymous with enzyme activity, and enzyme activity is dependent on the presence of trace elements, it is axiomatic that proper proportions of trace minerals are the best defense nutritionally to ward off the threat of disease. Just about any symptom may therefore be a manifestation of a certain mineral deficiency or lack of a combination of minerals. And we're learning a little bit about metabolism and how it works just through our FAVEO program. That's really important. What is chelation, though? What is chelation? It's the suspension of a mineral between 2 or more amino acids. Amino acids are the little pieces of protein that when you put them all together, they make a big protein. They're the bonding to small proteins or peptides or amino acids. Chela is Greek word for claw. Chelation substances can include things like amino acids, ascorbic acid, and orotates, as well as hydrolyzed protein. Chelation improves the absorption of the mineral from the digestive tract. So if you're taking in chelated minerals, chances of your body using it are much, much greater than if you just take in a regular mineral, which is a piece of rock, that could end up going straight through your body, just like Sandy was saying before the recording started. Now, one of the things that we understand about 365 is that there are some benefits, and there are some claims that we can make. Now, you've been listening to me talk about all the parts of the active defense complex. That's really what makes 365 different. But here are the claims that you can make. It provides a full spectrum of vitamins and minerals for overall wellness. It helps your body to actively protect itself from occasional downturns. It provides powerful antioxidant support and cellular protection. That's really, really important. Cellular protection. It supports healthy energy and cardiovascular health, and it supports joint and bone health. Now, let's review real quick. Here is the price of one box, a month's supply of 365. Now, that you may think, wow, that's awfully, awfully expensive for me to do with to pay for a month of vitamins. Well, it's not just vitamins. It's not just minerals. It's a combination of all of it. And if you were going to buy all of these things separately, it would cost you about $200, just under $200 a month, because I figured it all out. I used to own an herb shop. I used to own an herb shop, and I know what all of these things cost when you buy them separately. You put them in a formula like we have in our 6 little tablets and capsules, and you can buy it $56 for a month's supply. That is like a gift. It's a gift what Zango has given to us. Now, one of the things also, and you'll see that real quickly here, I call 365 the flu shot in a box. This flu season, the shot that they had so much hype over was found to be only 16% effective and only 9% effective for seniors. I think that's tragic. Now, people and children who take the 365 daily have had much better statistics. No colds, no flu. For most of the 365 users that I have talked to, including my husband, myself, we haven't had sniffles or anything for over 3 years. My grandkids, where everybody else in school was having a hard time and they were sending them home, my grandkids didn't have the same problems. So do I love 365? Absolutely. I love 365. And what I would suggest is that you tell the people that you love and care for that they should try 365 and put it on your ADP right now. Go to your back office and add 365 to your ADP. Start taking it if you're not taking it, and within 30 days you will thank me, because you will have noticed a huge, huge difference in how you feel, and also for your children and your loved ones, your parents, your spouses, your kids. It's a wonderful product. I'm passionate about it. I love it. I'm so glad that Sandy asked me to talk to you about this. I wanted you to hear all those details about what makes our active defense complex so very, very astute, and what makes it work for you. Even though it's a little scientific, I hope that I didn't get too involved in the science, but it's important that you understand how much true science and true defense is in our 365. Kali, I'm going to turn this back to you, but thanks, everybody.
Since 365s came out in, was it October 2009? I have only been sick once, and I'm the one that literally was hospitalized with pneumonia 28 times and have been on antibiotics well over 100 times in my life, always struggling with an immune system. And the juice absolutely helped reduce that, where I wasn't hospitalized, but I would still, get at least once a year, I would still get sick, and it wouldn't last as long and it wouldn't be as severe. But boy, the 365, absolutely amazing. Just an incredible product. So thank you for all that information that you shared with us here this evening. And I do have a couple of questions in the Q&A box, but the one question I always get, and I need just a second to take the screen back to show it to everybody, is where to find the recordings. There's always questions about that. So before I get to your Q&A, and while I'm taking back the screen, Sandy, I know you have some closing comments as well as some questions that you might want to lead with Dr. Leets.
Thank you, Dr. Leets, again for that comprehensive, in-depth understanding. But simply put, who wants to live longer with quality? That's really what this is all about.
That's exactly right.
I remember many, many years ago when I first got into nutrition. Remember, Eddie and I come from the drug world. So, we used to carry one a day and Centrum Silver in the pharmacies. And it was interesting, 17 years ago or so, and when I got into understanding the quality of what we take. In fact, often I'll tell people that most of the vitamins they take, they're better off giving the money to charity because it's not doing them any good anyway. And I guess on the call I can label it what Ed had labeled it 17 years ago, but most supplements are what he refers to as bedpan bullets. Of course, we sold bedpans as well, but it goes in the mouth and comes out the other end. Not so with what Zango has produced based on the newest in research, and that's what I love about this company, because we can sincerely know beyond a shadow of a doubt that we've got the best there is. Nobody can even come close to it. So for people who, back then, people would say, well, why do I need to supplement? I eat a healthy diet. Well, nobody says that today because they know they'd probably get more nutrition from the packaging than what they're actually eating. So having supplementation is critical to increase the quality of your life. And what's pretty scary is that most people don't realize that until they hover around 50 years old. And they spent all these wonderful years not supplementing, and then they spend more money on trying to get well instead of staying well. So just love the 365 Wellness Extended for sure.
And Sandy, that's why I put in there
all that.
Oh, I'm sorry, but that's why I put in there what the American Medical Association said in their journal, because I wanted people to know that they even admit that we need to take a multivitamin.
Absolutely. But what we take is where we come in and educating people about bioavailability and absorption and having the correct amounts, because most vitamins that I've seen, even in competing decent companies, do not come anywhere near what the body really needs to remain healthy. But it's on the box, and most people don't know what the real requirement should be for it to make an impact on your health. So let me see if, Kali's got the screen ready, so I'm going to back off and shut up. Kali, are you ready to take the screen back? There you are. Okay, gotcha.
I'm always trying to struggle for the unmute button. All right, so what I would like to do is just real quickly show you a couple of places where you can find recordings. So first of all, for non-My Power System users, if you're a My Power System user, it's really simple. And actually, I'm going to take you there and show you really quickly right where you can find it. If you're a My Power System user, it is posted immediately in the first thing in the morning. It'll be in the back office. because the Meeting Burner platform actually comes from the same company. And I'll show you where it is when you log into your back office. There are a couple of places. First, as soon as you log in, it is top center of the screen, webinar recording, and the most recent one is always there. So very fast, very easy to find it. All the previous webinars that you may have missed for the last however long years is in the webinar archives. If you just click on webinar archives, you will go and see all the webinars that we have done with My Power System. Lots of great back end for those of you who are brand new. Now, if you're not a My Power System user, we do post these by the weekend, and you'll be able to find them in two different places. The first place is on our blog, ourpowersystem.com. That is the blog for My Power System users. And you'll always see the first post by this weekend. This post will be replaced with the post about next week's webinar and who will be speaking and how you can register for that. And at the bottom of each post for next week's webinar is always the link to last week's webinar, to the recording. So look for it by this weekend, and if you want to be notified immediately as soon as the blog is updated, there's a couple of places you can do that. One place is simply by subscribing to the blog via email, and the moment a blog is posted, you'll get an email with just letting you know that there's a new post, and all the details. You'll have to actually go to the blog to read them, but it's just a short little email. And you can also subscribe to our newsletter, and that's where we periodically send out when we get new information on new products or new science or something that we'll send out to all the users. The other place that you can find is as soon as something's updated on the blog, it's also updated on Facebook. And you can find us there at facebook.com/mypowersystem. If you go there, click like, then as soon as something is posted on Facebook, you'll immediately be notified in these message notifications here and be able to know it right away and go, and you'll always see the posts that are on the blog are there, as well as a whole lot of other really wonderful posts. So it's really a great Facebook page to be connected in your Zango business. So with that, those are the places that you can find the information on the blog, in the back office, and on Facebook. And I am going to go to the questions now for Dr. Judy. First question we have is from Kelly. Is there a best time of day to take the vitamins?
Well, I think the best time of day is to take them first thing in the morning. I take them with my smoothie. I do my Faveo smoothie, and I take my vitamins right with my smoothie. My husband does the same thing. He takes them with his Zango because he doesn't do the smoothie. But I think it really doesn't matter. Just take them.
That is a really good point. It doesn't matter. And so along those lines, another question is, can they be taken on an empty stomach?
Well, that's for the individual to determine. Try them on an empty stomach. Sometimes people can't take vitamins on an empty stomach. If you can't, then take them with just a little drink. Like I said, my husband takes them with his Zango. I take them with my smoothie. Or after you've had a little bit to eat in your stomach for your breakfast, then take them. It depends on you. If they don't bother you on an empty stomach, and they shouldn't, but some people are more sensitive than others. And you know, one of the things I did not say, Kali, and I want to mention it right now, is when you look at the amounts of the vitamins that are in the 365, one of the things you will notice is that there's a smaller amount of vitamin E than you'll see in many other supplements. And that's because we have all 8, all 4 tocopherols or 4 tocotrienols, and you don't need as large an amount. The reason that there are large amounts in many supplements is because your body only takes in a little bit. So they have a great big bunch so that you can get a little bit, but the rest is wasted, like Sandy was saying, and Ed talked about the bedpan bullets. That's truly what happens if you aren't taking a good supplement. But the 365 is absorbable and super available into your body, bioavailable. It's important.
Great. And more questions about the empty stomach. I heard that minerals should be taken on an empty stomach due to BioLife. Do 365 vitamins need to be taken on an empty stomach even if they are chelated? I thought vitamins needed food to support them.
Well, again, it depends on the individual person. The important thing that I just want to get across is just make sure you take your 365 every day. The chelation means that you're going to absorb the minerals, and the types of vitamins that they have put in this product means that you're going to get them absorbed also. The active defense complex, there's not much in there that you're not going to have absorbed into your cells. So just make sure you take it daily. If you forget to take it first thing in the morning, take it whenever you remember it. But I would get into a routine. That's what helps. Just get into a routine and take your 365 right when you take your Zango juice, and it works. It works wonderfully.
Great. Anne says, is it okay to take with the Faveo fiber?
Yes. The only thing that you don't want to take with fiber is something that prevents the fiber from working, and that's not what 365 does. I don't see any problem with taking it with the fiber. Like I said, I take mine with my Faveo smoothie in the morning. I put my fiber right in my smoothie, so that's how I take my 365. With my Elavive, by the way, I take them all right with my smoothie in the morning. I don't think we need to get so bogged down in those kinds of details, because when people do, then they are reluctant to take the supplement. I would just take it, because it's made to absorb into the body. That's what Zango did. They made it more bioavailable, more absorbable. So just take it.
Wonderful. When you start to feel run down and feel like a cold is coming on, is it helpful to double up on the vitamins until that passes?
Absolutely. And I've told many, many people that double up for 3 days only. But by the end of the 3 days, your symptoms should have subsided. That's what happens to my husband and I. That's what happens to the people that I talk to. Because you may not always be able to avoid being exposed to these viruses. And those are the ones that go into your body and try to stick around for a while. But if you double up on your 365, take a pack in the morning and a pack before you go to bed, do it 3 days in a row, those symptoms usually, I'm not promising you always, but usually, 90% of the time, they disappear.
Great. And I'm going to ask on that note, would it be helpful if you are around other people who are sick to double up to keep from even getting a symptom?
Sure. And one of the things that I learned when we were in Vegas last year is I should have doubled up when I got on the plane, because when I got home, I certainly did not feel very well. I ended up with pneumonia. And one of the reasons I got pneumonia last year is because I had broken my arm, and when you do that, your immune system suffers, blah, 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 blah. But I got sick coming home from Las Vegas with pneumonia. I didn't get a virus. I had it's called formulary pneumonia, and it's caused by different things that you breathe in. And I have to tell everybody this. I'm embarrassed and I'm ashamed to say it, but I smoked for over 30 years. So my lungs truly are very sensitive. I know that was a shock, right?
Airplanes. Airplanes are a place where there's all kinds of stuff being circulated through the plane. So you say you double up on a plane. Would you recommend always doubling up on a plane?
I would double up the night before. I would double up the night of the flight, and I would double up the next day. I will always do that from now on, always.
And so you say for 3 days, but if in fact I'm flying somewhere and I'm flying today, I'll be there 3 days, and then I'm flying home, should I double up from the day before the first flight to the day after the last flight, even if that's a 6 or 7 day period?
No, leave a space in between. But because of the minerals, you don't want to double up for all those days in a row. So leave a couple of days in between. Just do the day before, day of, day after, space, day before, day of, day after, and that'll work for you.
That is really great information. What about when you're going on a cruise? Many of us are going on this cruise in April, and we know that people get sick on cruises. So if it's a 5-day cruise and there's traveling there and back, what would you recommend?
I would recommend taking one the day before you travel to the cruise. I would take extra with me so that if you end up having a symptom, you can take an extra one, but you wouldn't have to take it several days in a row. But I would take it if you're flying to the spot where you're going to get on the cruise, take one the day of, the day before, and then have extra ones with you just in case you feel a symptom. If you feel a symptom, take an extra one before you go to bed, but you won't have to do it several days in a row. Besides, everybody on that cruise is going to be taking 365, aren't they?
Well, all the Zango reps will, but obviously there's going to be a lot of other people on that cruise. They're going to be bringing all kinds of bacteria from all over the world, probably.
Exactly. So I would take lots of extra boxes of 365.
Wonderful. Okay, I think that is, one more question. There's lots and lots. I don't know. Are you seeing the chat box, Judy, that you can see all the wonderful
I don't.
comments? Okay, so in the chat box, if you go back to your meeting, Bernie, you can look at them after. I won't close off the webinar until you get a chance to read them all. But lots and lots of people saying, great presentation, great information. Thank you so much. I want to make sure that you read all of those comments before you log off completely. But one last question here. Oh, no, there's a couple now. Anna's asking, I've heard you can snack on the kids' vitamins during the day. Is that also considered doubling up?
Well, just if you look at the kids' vitamins, there aren't as large amounts as they are in the adult 365, but that's not really a double up, but it is getting extra nutrition into your system, and it's delicious. I love them for a snack. I'm sure Anna does too.
Yes, I do too. Vicki says, should you always take all of the 365s together? Vitamins have irritated my stomach in the past, and at times I had to take them every other day instead. Do you recommend all of them or cut some of them out for people with sensitive stomachs?
Okay, if you have a sensitive stomach, this is something that I did in the beginning because I used to have a sensitive stomach for these things also, and I didn't know how absorbable they were when they first started. I split them in two, and I took half in the morning and half at night. One of each, the vitamin, mineral, and the active defense in the morning, and the same thing at night. If you continue to have sensitivities, then take them every other day for 30 days until that sensitivity starts to wear down, and it will wear down. It just takes a while because these are very bioavailable. They aren't irritating. So just get your body used to it. Every other day would work. You're still getting it into your system. Or split it up morning and night. Either way works.
Okay, and on that every other day question, would it be better to take the whole packet every other day or cut them all in half and take a half of each one every day until the sensitivity stops?
Well, I wouldn't ever cut them in half. I would take, instead of all 6, I would take one of each. And then 2 days later, take the other part of the packet and do that for a while and see how your sensitivity. But always, and if you are sensitive, then make yourself a smoothie in the morning. Take them with your smoothie. Take them with something that's going to, stick in your stomach, oatmeal, something like that, so that you don't have the sensitivity.
Perfect. One last question, because we're almost at the top of the hour, and that is, I saw it, Jamie, so I'm getting your question here in the chat box. What age should you start your children on the kids' supplements, and at what dose?
Well, I would say around 4 or 5, and under the age of 12, I would do half of what they say is the dose. Instead of 2 and 1, I would do 1 and a half. 1 and a half. So if you have 2 kids, a box would last you for a month if they're little. But I'd start them around 4 when they can chew those up and not swallow, not swallow them whole, chew them up like Starburst or whatever candy.
Perfect. Okay, one last question. Vivian's asking, if we wish to keep our levels even, is it advisable to split the vitamins between AM and PM for better continuity, or doesn't it matter?
It really doesn't matter, but in the beginning that's what I did. And then I found it really doesn't matter because it's absorbed into your cells. It's not like you take it in and it kind of goes around and looks for a spot to be. It goes into your cells. So if you want to split it up and take half in the morning and half at night, that's fine too, because that's really, you don't want to take all your food in one meal. So if you want to split it up like you do your food, that's fine. But if you want to take it all in the morning, that's fine too.
All right, perfect. Okay, we are out of questions and out of time. Again, Dr. Leets, thank you so much, and I really want you to make sure that you read all those questions in the chat box. So I will stop the recording and I will end the webinar I'll stop the recording in a minute as soon as I turn it over to my partner to close it. But I'm going to leave the webinar open for a little bit so that you can just read all those wonderful comments from everybody. Just really grateful for your time and grateful for your service here this evening to all of Zango Nation. So with that, I want to thank everyone for joining us and turn over the final comments and to set up for the night.
And thank you, Collie, and Dr. Judy. Thank you so much for what a comprehensive presentation. And thank you for all the verbiage on the slides, because I'm going to need those cheat sheets and also to be able to send them to people so I don't have to be the expert. I can just forward this webinar and say, if you want to learn about why Zango excels over anybody else, just watch the webinar. But before we end, I would like to offer a challenge to everybody in our Zango Nation. Spring is coming, and we were on a leadership call today, and there are some extraordinary things happening within Zango, and hopefully everybody is already registered for the convention in September, because they're going to be launching a new category, and you want to be the first to hear about it and be there. But I'm going to offer a challenge, and I don't know what to call it, and I didn't get a chance to talk to Collie, but I'm just going to go back to some old verbiage that felt so good to me, and it was called Spring Ahead. And I want everybody to commit the month of March, April, and May to purchase the origami brochures from Zango. They are absolutely magnificent if you haven't already gotten them. And I'll put out an email with some little pasties that I got at the arts and crafts store. I think I went to either Michael's or Joann's. But anyway, making a commitment to give out. Remember how we're supposed to, if you want to build your business, you must have at least 3 to 5 conversations minimum every single day. Well, now let's have a conversation around health, wellness, better focus, sustained energy, anti-aging. And my commitment is a minimum of 3 a day of the origami with a Zango single, as well as the beautiful Limitless packaging that inserts a Limitless single. And I've got to tell you, anybody that takes that Limitless, and I happen to like it with my Zango juice, what focus, what sustained energy And quite honestly, it's addicting because you don't like how you feel without it. And it's like sitting in a room with the lights out, and all of a sudden somebody turned the lights on. So you're sharper, you're more focused. It's like somebody, lit up your brain, but not like the dangerous energy drinks that are actually very harmful. So there's no sugar, no caffeine, no artificial stuff, no excessive vitamin B, like all the other competition. And it is just a wonderful feeling. So who's with me on the spring challenge to give out a minimum of 3 of the Zango singles and the Limitless every single day for the next 90 days? Because that's what I'm going to do, and I'd love to hear your stories. So with that, again, Dr. Judy, thank you so much, and we look forward to many, many calls in the future, and of course some of the other physicians and healthcare practitioners as well. And everyone, let's just do it. Bye for now.